Minister, I'd like to welcome this bill. I think I've actually 7 minutes, not 20 minutes. It's upstairs. I'd like to welcome this bill, and I think that it is a good idea to bring various offices together that are dealing with property. I'd also like to welcome the name of the bill, Tailte, Éireann, the name of the new body. I think it's appropriate. And I think that it's very much in line with the new Languages Act that we would name our bodies. And I've noticed over the years when you name things in Irish, particularly when they're simple, effective names, people use them. Nobody has any difficulty with Bus Éireann. And with other bodies that have Irish language names. And I've never found that new Irish people who come to our country have any particular difficulty with them either. There are just a few comments I'd like to make. The first comment is that I'm very surprised that the residue of the Land Commission hasn't been incorporated here, because a lot of land registry documents, a fair number of them, originated in dealings of the Land Commission. And as late as today, I got a query in where there were issues raised with the PRA, but they referred back to Land Commission dealings. And now they have to go to the Department of Agriculture, which can be quite a challenge to try and get these old Land Commission records. So there are residual functions of the Land Commission. They're land functions. They divided a lot of land in their time, and lots of people have reason to have recourse to the database they have. I'm sure also for historic purposes, and it's something I raised before, that it would be very interesting if those records could be digitised and made publicly available, because there is a wealth of social history involved in the enormous work that was carried out by the Land Commission. It was totally revolutionary in terms of land ownership in this country. But there are still current issues that arise again and again and again when you look at land documents that go back to Land Commission documents. And it would be much handier if all of these documents in relation to ownership of land, division of land, etc., were residing in the one place. I have to say my experience of the PRA has been good, and of land registry before it. They're generally helpful. Sometimes people are frustrated, particularly in issues of possessory claims and so on, of the delays that are involved, but a lot of these are caused by the fact that they're giving you a really, really valuable asset, and they have to make absolutely sure that it cannot be contested in a court successfully, as far as they can, and that it is robust and so on. And this often means going back where people die intestate and so on, going back quite a period of time. But there is one issue. We're great at setting up the bodies. We're great at creating the work. But in many circumstances then, we don't fully staff these bodies to continue to provide the expanded services that they're being asked to provide, and the queues build up. And bad public services are inexcusable. The second thing is we must provide them with the cutting-edge technology, and as that technology evolves, they must be able to keep to the best standards of technology, and they must also organise themselves in such a way that they use the best work processes that are available. Because too often, there's a big, good idea, but there's very, very bad execution, and you get the Department of Public Expenditure being unwilling to provide the necessary staff to cut the queues. Now, if the Department of Public Expenditure think the current staff is sufficient to do a job, they should, in my view, then do something about perceived inefficiency, because bad public services are inexcusable and shouldn't be allowed. On the other hand, if you make your case and you're doing your job efficiently and you can't keep up with the new demands being created by government all the time and being created by new circumstances, they should provide the staff to do it. And the other point, of course, that when you start falling behind, and all of us experience this challenge, the actual queues and delays in dealing with things create more work, and you have to devote ever more resources to dealing with the queue rather than dealing with the work. So it becomes a vortex of inefficiency. So I think it's absolutely important, and I think we'd all support you here in making sure that this is a very efficient service, properly staffed, with well-motivated staff that believe that they can do their job. The other thing I would like to see, and I think it should be in every bill, and I don't know if you would consider putting some provision, explicit provision is, and that is the right of public representatives, and Land Registry traditionally and the PRA subsequently have been good about dealing with queries that are raised in relation to dealings or other Land Registry issues with public representatives, and to come back very, very fast. And that is a good tradition, because we're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it on behalf of the public who are having difficulties or delays getting information. I believe it is absolutely important that public representatives are entitled, not on a personal level, but on a public service level, to get information on behalf of constituents, or as often happens, it's the legal profession who seek our assistance in trying to expedite something that's urgent, and that where a case is made giving a real, genuine reason for urgency, that those matters would be expedited. As I said, but while in fáilte go raibh mille seo, creidim go céim chun tosaigh, a tasúlan go mbeidh an corchuige éifeachtach agus gur seirbhísí féosa eicosmuid seachas farir I gás ní eile mar a chonig muid gur féosa a bhí ar gul ar gúil a bhí le fáil.